Psychology tricks to fuck with somebody's mind that I may or may not use. You'll never know. Walk up to a group of your friends, and if there's like 5 of them, be like, hey, if it isn't my 4 favorite people, and watch their faces be really confused. They try to figure it out. And if somebody tries to correct you, it's even funnier, because they'll be like, hey, no, there's 5 of us here. Be like, hey, if it isn't my 3 favorite people. This one's really mean, but if you're ever in an argument with somebody, be like, everything they say about you is true, and then walk away. This one also works really well in an argument, or if you're being bullied. Give the person that's yelling at you a sincere compliment. This will completely throw off the entire dynamic and throw down their guard, because it's really hard to be mean at somebody that's like being really nice to you. Did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you? Like, a ton of research has gone into this. People born in January. Hi, you are statistically more likely to have Alzheimer's, Crohn's disease, and epilepsy. We're taking a huge turn with this one, but people born in February, you are more likely to become an artist. People born in March are way more likely to have asthma, and I can actually speak to this one because my little sister, the only one born in March, has asthma. Where are my fellow April babies at? Okay, we are way more likely to become alcoholics than everybody else. You guys really wanted a part 2, so here it is, what your birth month actually means about you. May babies, I am so sorry, but you are more susceptible to diabetes and glaucoma. People born in June have the highest number of CEOs and Nobel Prize winners, but you're probably gonna need glasses. People born in July tend to have the most optimistic outlook on life compared to those who are born in colder months. August kids tend to really struggle in school, and they're 30% more likely to be labeled as the problem student by their teachers. So there's actually some scientific backing that says that the month you're born in actually has a huge effect on who you become as a person, and this is season 2, part 3 of what that means. So for some reason, studies have shown that people born in September actually take longer to reach sexual climax compared to everybody else. October babies, you guys were born in like the spooky month, okay? You got vampires, witches, skeletons. Speaking of which, you guys are more likely to develop osteoporosis. November children, how does it feel knowing that Valentine's Day was probably the day that your parents spent some time making you? Haha, that's probably why y'all become serial killers, huh? December, where's all my left-handed dentists at? Yeah, you guys bruise easier? You might want to get that checked out by a doctor or something. Psychology tricks to fuck with people's minds that I may or may not use. You'll never know. Pull out a pack of gum, offer the person you're talking to a piece, and then put it back without taking any for yourself. That person, if they're observant, is gonna have a lot of questions. So a friend actually did this one to me once, and it fucked my whole day up. If you're ever having a conversation with somebody, just stop, look them dead in the eye, and go, wake up, and then just immediately go back to the conversation like nothing ever happened. If somebody on the road is driving like an asshole, your first reaction is probably gonna be to flip them off, but stop, you can do this better. Instead, give them a thumbs down. It hurts just a little bit more. Please use these wisely. Psychology tricks to fuck with somebody's mind that I may or may not use. You'll never know. Go up to your roommate or sibling or just somebody that you live with and be like, hey, have you seen our toothbrush? So in the first video of this series, I said that you can stop in the middle of a conversation, look at your friend very seriously and go, wake up. But you can also get creative with this and take it a step further. Start writing wake up in their books. Steam up a bathroom mirror, write it, and that way next time they take a shower, it's just gonna pop up. You can also do this to strangers. If you're walking by them, say it and keep walking and don't look back, and just know that you messed up their whole day. I think that the biggest way anybody's ever messed with my head, and I don't even think they did it on purpose, they were like, you know what? I don't care what anybody else says about you. I think you're cool. And it just left me sitting there like, what does everybody say about me? I also just made a new YouTube video about the meaning of life that everybody seems to like so far, so you should go check it out, because you don't know what the meaning of life is, unless you do, in which case share it, but I bet you don't, so go watch the goddamn video!
Okay, fun fact, did you guys know that there's this thing called revenge bedtime procrastination, where people will refuse to sleep because they don't have much control over their daytime life, so they will sleep very late at night even if they're super tired, because they just don't want that free time to end at night and they don't want tomorrow to start.
3 Sneaky Psychology Hacks Part 47. To deal with stress and anxiety better, try watching horror movies. It alleviates tension and trains you to deal with real-life stress. If someone insults you, say, "Are you okay?" It'll make them feel stupid. To impress or win, play down your abilities. Surprise people's lowered expectations.
If you did, that means you have an inner monologue. If you didn't, then you don't. Some people have an inner speech that narrates everything they do, see, think, and feel. I think I'm one of those people. A recent psychological study just came out that showed that most people don't actually have that. People who don't have this little voice in their head either don't know that these inner monologue people even exist, or they're capable of having inner monologues, they just choose not to because that way of thinking is too slow. Instead of thinking in words, these people think in pictures, sounds, and feelings, which I find fascinating. This is one of those things that might be a little weird because most people don't think about how they think, but I want to know how you think. Do you have like a little voice in your head that narrates everything like in the movies or not?
3 psychology tricks to read minds. 1. Clock the mirroring. The next time you're in a conversation with someone, casually cross your arms. If they cross their arms too, it means they're interested in the conversation. This dynamic is called mirroring, and it means that the person is literally mirroring your movements because they're open and receptive to what you're saying. 2. Clock the fidgeting. Usually when someone's uncomfortable, they start fidgeting around. For dudes, they usually start fidgeting and touching their faces. For girls, they usually start adjusting their clothes or jewelry or start touching their necks. 3. Clock exaggerated nodding. Have you ever been talking to someone and they just keep nodding and nodding at every single syllable you're saying, and you know they can't possibly be agreeing to every single syllable, but they're still nodding? That's a sign that they're having anxiety about what you think about them. They think that you're either judging them in some way, or they think you doubt their ability to follow instructions. Follow for more tips.
Did you know that the way you sleep can tell a lot about your personality? The fetal position. Many people, including myself, sleep this way because it offers a sense of safety. Those who favor curling up like a baby tend to be really sensitive but project a tough exterior. The log. Sleep specialists say that if this is your favorite way to sleep, you're probably really easygoing, social, and relatively trusting of others. The yearner. This is similar to log sleepers in the sense that you have a really open nature, but you're more cynical and not as gullible. The soldier. If you sleep on your back with your arms to your sides, you're more likely to wake up refreshed. You hold yourself to high standards, and when asked, you probably say that you sleep this way due to medical benefits. Except your snoring probably annoys people. The free faller. This is the worst position to sleep in, but if you prefer it, you're more likely bold and highly sociable, but you don't have the thickest skin when it comes to taking criticism. The starfish. You're known to be more selfless, even though everybody kind of thinks you're a bed hog. Whenever your dog looks deeply into your eyes right before they poop, it means that they feel vulnerable and they trust you to keep an eye out for them. Dogs will actually sneeze when play fighting to show that they're playing around and they don't actually want to hurt you. Whenever your dog leans on you and puts their whole weight onto you, that's actually their way of telling you that they love you.
Don't know what you're saying. You're flying higher than a plane, and I'm not complaining. It's getting too loud, we'll figure it out. I'm out of my brain. Don't know what you're saying. You're flying higher than a plane, and I'm not complaining. It's getting too loud, we'll figure it out. I'm out of my brain. Don't know what you're saying. You're flying higher than a plane, and I'm not complaining. It's getting too loud, we'll figure it out. I'm out of my brain.
Psychological facts you didn't know about yourself. Being forgetful is a sign of high intelligence. But why? Scientists claim that forgetting is just as important as remembering. A bad memory is actually a mechanism for making more space for more relevant information in your brain. And it keeps your brain from wasting space and energy.
This is a simple persuasion trick to get exactly what you want. This one is called the open loop technique, and here's how it works. When you're asking your parents for a present, or when you're asking your crush out on a date, make sure to start a sentence and make them ask you to finish it. So for example, you go, you know what's gonna be a really good idea? and then wait for them to say, okay, what is it? What is going to be a good idea? And then you go, oh, a new phone, or oh, if you went on a date with me. Now, science shows that once you open a loop, a sentence or an idea or a concept in a person's mind, then their brain is eager and keen to close it as fast as possible, making them more interested in what you're about to say and more likely to say yes. Just how you were interested this whole time to see if I'm going to pop this balloon, and I guess you will never.
I haven't done this in a while. Psychology tricks to fuck with someone's mind that I may or may not use. You'll never know. This one's a little fucked up, but that's kind of the spirit of the series. If you ever see a couple, smile at the opposite gender like you know them and give them a little flirty hey. You can even throw in a look at their partner and then just walk away. They will be guaranteed to have a very interesting conversation later. If you're ever having a conversation with somebody where you're both standing, take a tiny step forward. Give them their personal space a little bit. They're going to be forced to take a tiny step back. That's when you take another tiny step forward. If the conversation lasts a while, you can probably get them all the way across the room. If someone you're talking to is being racist, sexist, or just gossiping and you don't really like it, pretend not to know what they're talking about. Just be wide-eyed and innocent and ask them questions like, what do you mean? They're going to be forced to explain their fucked up thought process until they get really uncomfortable and stop.